Before we start the recap of Sinners, y'all need to let me know who you're letting in. I know some of y'all will say cornbread. Throughout time, there are those with musical talents that can bring healing to the community, but it can also attract evil. In Clarksdale, Mississippi, on October 16, 1932, a church service is halted when the preacher's son, Sammy, walks in bleeding. He gets a flashbacks of evil. His father tells him to drop the guitar because he thinks his music is evil. One day earlier, Sammy gets up early to work at the cotton fields. Twins Smoke and Stack are back from Chicago. The way I'd go feral for 2 Michael B. Jordans. Now that the twins are rich, they want to start their own business. So they purchase an old sawmill and the land it stands on from Mr. Hogwood. He sure do look like a hog. They warn him that if the clan gets in their territory, they will be shot. So Mr. Fatback Hogwood assures them that the clan no longer exists. Pastor Jed wants Sammy to stay and learn the Bible, but Sammy would rather be with his cousins. They pick Sammy up and decide to split up so they can finish the work early. The twins plan to open up a juke joint. Smoke drives to town and enters Bo's store. There he sees Bo's daughter, Lisa. Bo enters and oh my, the way my coochie caught on fire with that accent.
Look at the damn cat dragged in.
Smoke asks Bo to provide him the things they need. Bo's wife, Grace, agrees to make a sign for the twins for $14. Meanwhile, Sammy learns that the twins' father used to beat Stack badly. When their father beat Stack unconscious, Smoke killed the old man. Sammy's guitar was a gift from the twins, and he's overjoyed when he learns that it used to be Charlie Patton's guitar. He then sings a song to prove how much he loves the blues, and Stack is impressed. They first approach Delta Slim, an amazing harmonica player. Slim already works in a different club, but Stack knows Slim loves to drink, so he offers him some Irish liquor and all the beer he can drink plus $40 if he agrees to play in their club. And with that, Slim agrees. Then Stack announces the opening of Club Juke and invites everyone to come visit. Sammy meets a woman named Pearline, and even though she's married, he still flirts with her and asks her to visit the club. Before they can leave, a woman named Mary confronts Stack. Mary reveals that her mother died yesterday and the twins didn't even show up. It's evident they used to poke each other's butts, as Mary explicitly talks about how Stack used to place his mustache on her pelvis. But Stack tells her to leave him alone. On their drive, Slim talks about some of his adventures. He says white people love the blues, they just don't like the people who make it. Slim had been touring with a friend and they earned a lot of money, until one day white people ended up lynching his friend because they wanted the money he had. They even cut off his friend's manhood. After that, Stack picks up a friend named Cornbread. He doesn't want to go, but his wife Therese gives him the go signal when she learns the job pays a lot. Meanwhile, Smoke visits his son's grave. Annie is surprised to see him back. She deals with witchcraft and magic and always prays for the twins. But Stack doesn't understand why her magic couldn't save their baby. As Annie puts a new spell in his mojo bag, Smoke asks her to cook for the club opening later that night. Then, he admits that he returned because he missed her. She goes over to touch his crotch, and it's rock solid. He doesn't hesitate and proceeds to break her back from behind. The quiet afternoon is shattered by the screams of a wounded man asking for help. His name is Remick. Joan and her husband Bert open the door. Remick says the Choctaw took his wife and tried to kill him. While pleading, he sees the clan's white robe inside. He offers the couple some gold if they let him take shelter. Just a bit later, a group of men arrive looking for Remick, explaining that he's dangerous. But Joan refuses to cooperate, so they leave right away. To Joan's shock, she finds Remick all bloodied and Bert rises with a wound on his neck. The girl screams, knowing she's about to get double-fisted. As soon as the club opens, a man orders beer using plantation money. Smoke is pissed because he knows they need real money if they want the club to stay open. Cornbread guards the main entrance, and Pearline enters. But Mary's stopped because she don't look like the others. Cornbread realizes it's Mary, but all grown up. While Sammy flirts with Pearline, he sees Mary and decides to approach. Before he can tell her to leave, Mary recognizes him as the baby cousin. She reveals that her grandfather was half black. Bitch, where? And her mother helped deliver the twins and nurse them too. So she's disappointed they weren't there at her funeral. Smoke sees Mary, so he makes Stack send her home. Stack tries kicking her out, reminding her that she has a rich white husband waiting for her. But Mary prefers Stack's black D. He stands his ground, insisting he loves her, but just wants to keep her safe. Sammy starts to play his guitar and sing. His singing is so powerful that music from the past and the far future seem to blend in that moment. It's really a scene you have to watch to appreciate. Sammy's singing skills translates fairly well with his tongue skills as he goes down on the married trifling Pearline. Then Remick, Joan, and Bert show up after they were entranced by Sammy's music. They introduce themselves as musicians who just want to eat and sing. Remick proclaims they're not clans, and they even sing to prove they mean no harm. And it's the whitest type of music you'll ever hear.
I would've picked his body, but it wouldn't fit to eat, or I'd pick poor Robin clean.
Smoke refuses to let them in. Instead, he tells them to find a club for mayonnaise people. Afterwards, Sammy admits he wants to do music for life. So Smoke shares how they ran away from their violent father and settled in Mound Bayou only to be kicked out by the mayor. The mayor knew their father and was worried the twins were just as evil. So Smoke advises Sammy to take advantage of being a preacher's son or just play church music. Sammy says he would rather die than give up music. Meanwhile, Mary figures that the twins stole from some Italian and Irish groups before returning home. She knows the club needs real money, so she offers to check if Remek's group has some. Stack gives her his gun just in case. Remek shows her some solid gold to prove they can pay. Then they proceed to sympathize over the death of her mother and offer to save Mary from her fate as well. But she notices him drooling and his eyes red, so she threatens to shoot if they don't leave right away. As soon as she turns around, Remek attacks her. When she returns, she asks Cornbread to let her in, so he invites her back in. Then Cornbread asks Slim, who is really drunk, to guard the door while he pees. Outside, he hears Remek calling him. Then Mary shows the gold to Stack, then kisses him. The party is at its peak. Mary is drooling, and Stack asks for some of her nasty spit. Honestly, give me some of that. When a fight breaks out in the club, Smoke calls for his brother, but Sammy doesn't want to intervene with Mary's bull ride, so he keeps quiet. When Smoke checks on Stack, he finds Mary feeding on him. He immediately shoots, but Mary, unaffected, threatens to kill them all before running out. They decide to close for the night and send everyone home. Smoke holds Stack's dead body. Annie thinks they're dealing with malevolent spirits and suggests moving Stack's body outside, but Smoke refuses. With Stack dead, I'm glad there's still another Michael on my screen. So fine, they casted him twice. Grace senses trouble, so she convinces Bo it's time to go home to their daughter. So Bo gets out to start the car. Then Cornbread returns, asking to be invited inside. Annie quickly realizes that Cornbread must be dead and can't enter without being invited in. Cornbread refuses to leave without getting paid. But when Smoke hands over the money, he almost gets bitten. Luckily, he shoots him away. Smoke gets up and they close the door behind him. Slim announces that he thinks he shat himself. Suddenly, Stack starts knocking, asking to be let out of the room. He kicks the door open, but Annie fends him off by throwing some pickled garlic at him. She announces that they are dealing with vampires. Grace wants to go outside to get Bo, but the others insist they have to wait until sunrise. Then they begin to prepare wooden stakes. Annie explains that with vampires, the soul of the person gets trapped in the body together with the evil and can't move forward. Annie makes Smoke promise that if she gets bitten, he'll kill her before she becomes a vampire. She says their dead baby is waiting for her. When they see a man lying on the floor, they throw him out before he wakes. The vampires are having their own little party out in the dark. Meanwhile, the group worry that one of them is secretly a vampire. They each take a clove of garlic to prove they're not yet dead. When they all pass the test, they realize that it's not blood on the floor, but liquor. By the time they try to save the man, it's already too late, and he gets bitten. Grace sees Bo approaching, saying it's time to go home. He looks over at Cornbread nonchalantly, and Grace realizes it's not her husband anymore. I'd let Bo in so quickly I'd squirt. Remek tries to negotiate his way in, announcing that they have each other's memory now, and he might pay Lisa a visit. This scares Grace. He even admits that it was Sammy's music that got his attention, and if they agree to send him to their side, they will leave because Sammy's music has strong powers. He adds that the man who sold them the mill, Mr. Hogwood, is the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. Bert was his nephew, and they plan to kill everyone in the club the following morning. Remek brags that he arrived just in time to prevent it. Grace worries about her daughter. She knows that if they wait until sunrise, the vampires will have killed everyone in town by then. So despite the warnings, she screams for the vampires to come in and get them. As soon as the door opens, Grace attacks Bo with a Molotov and a stake. The fire ends up killing her too. Even though they are outnumbered, Smoke and his group continue to fight with guns and wooden stakes. They realize that the other vampires feel Remek's pain. Then Stack bites Annie, and Smoke is too occupied to help her. As promised, Smoke drives a stake through her heart before she turns. Mary and Stack are devastated. Slim orders the rest of the group to make their escape while he distracts the vampires. He cuts himself to attract the monsters. Then he's mauled by a crowd of them. Only 3 of them are still alive, but Remek won't let them escape, and he bites Perline. Perline got ate twice that night. Smoke orders Sammy to run into the sunrise, and the boy dashes off carrying his guitar. But Remek catches him. He starts to pray only for Remek, and the other vampires start to pray with him. Remek proceeds to drown and beat up Sammy. Meanwhile, the twins try to overpower each other. However, Stack can't seem to get himself to bite Smoke, so Smoke pushes him off and pins him down. He apologizes for not being able to protect him until the end. Surprisingly, Stack says there's no need for an apology. Sammy hits Remick with his guitar, and the metal plate cuts his face, hurting the others too. Luckily, Smoke arrives and pierces a wooden stake into Remick's chest before he can kill Sammy. The sun finally rises, burning the vampires one by one and killing them all. Smoke is relieved that the boy didn't get bitten. He tells him to go back home while he takes care of the mess himself. He also reveals that it's just a regular guitar and not Charlie Patton's. Before Hogwood and the clan reach the mill, Smoke has been preparing for their arrival. He welcomes them with bullets. Oh, my ovaries about to explode. He even throws a grenade into a car. He gets shot in the stomach but doesn't mind it. Only Mr. Piggy remains alive, but calls Smoke a slur. Smoke starts to imagine Annie and their child. They are on the other side, and here he is, still alive. Before he passes on to the other side, he finally kills Hogwood, then holds his child. Sammy returns to the church, and his father wants him to proclaim that everything he is and everything he has belongs to the Lord. Sammy refuses to let go of his guitar and instead leaves his family behind. He continues to make music until 1992 in Illinois. After his performance, Stack and Mary pay him a visit. They've been alive all this time. Stack says he had promised Smoke to never go after Sammy. Stack says he can make Sammy immortal if he wants, but he doesn't. They say the farewells and the movie ends. I watched this in the theaters and loved it. Couldn't wait to revisit it again. Truly needs to be seen if you can. What did you guys think of this one?
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.